Hi guys, I'm back again with nothing really. This seriously is just me yapping, aka doing what I can do best. No, I'm not really feeling that well physically. So I don't know, I thought to uh feel a bit less lonely and stuff, I would record something. I don't know. Basically, my logic is that if I'm talking to you guys, even though it's not in real time and you can't talk like to me, also I'm currently playing a video game and I started it without like setting um my system clock to like the next day. I am playing Animal Crossing again, in case you were wondering. And yes, I am time traveling a lot. Um, yeah, I just thought it would be nice to be able to talk to someone, so I'm talking to you guys. Even though this is not in real time and you can't answer me or ask me anything or comment on anything I say, although I do appreciate comments, like, I really do. It's always so much fun to read through them and reply to them, so yeah, if you have anything to say to this video, please comment. That is not one of those things like, when I'm a bit bad with words today, I'm sorry. When like YouTubers go like, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's not like that. It's not like that. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm genuinely just I'm genuinely just lonely. I want to talk to people. um yeah, well, I tried to, I did donate plasma today. I shouldn't have done it. I had very bad circulation issues and I had to stay at the donation center for hours after my donation was over. And I'm still not really feeling that well. I did feel a bit better, and then I just, for some reason I just fell asleep because I was really tired after I ate something. I don't know, maybe y'all had this situation before where you were eating something and then you felt really sleepy, so you went to lay down and then you actually fell asleep. On top of that, I ate ice cream, so I was super cold afterwards, so I literally just decided to lay down under my blanket to warm up, and then I got so sleepy that I just took a little nap. And then I woke up again sometime at night or like late evening. And ever since then I'm awake, and now it's 3 a.m. I did just finish dinner and now I'm feeling a bit lightheaded again, but I'm gonna guess this is just because I just had a large meal. So, yeah, as I said, physically not doing the best. Mentally, honestly, not too bad. Actually, not too bad. Like, I mean, okay, well, I would have said the complete opposite last night, but last night was a bit weird. Basically, you have to imagine I was just like really I don't know how to explain. I was just really emotionally um like distressed. I had a lot of anxiety last night, so I was um I wasn't really myself. I was basically panicking and saying, and like depressed, and it was just saying how like I hate my life, and I wasted all my time that I had, and I'm not gonna, not gonna have much longer, and I wish I would have lived life differently. Stuff like that. I was being very dramatic. But now I'm back to normal, I guess. Well, yeah, what else is there to talk about? I don't know. What is my normal? Like, what is normal for me? It would be, that would be actually pretty interesting to know because I honestly have no idea. I guess my normal is a bit weird. Also my foot is cramping. I don't know why that is happening right now. Yeah. I honestly, my entire day was just plasma donation and that's it. I got up, ate breakfast, um, got ready to go out to go to the donation center, and I uh then I got like not back home immediately. I went to get some groceries. Then I went back home, ate something, fell asleep, woke back up, played a few video games, watched some videos, ate something again, and now I'm here. So yeah, my entire day was just me, you know, basically doing nothing. um well, I was originally planning to write something again today. I mean, well, technically I still could. I don't know yet when I'll go to sleep. Probably sometime within the next few hours, but it could also still take like 3 hours. So I guess I'll just be sitting here or like laying here in bed and being like playing games on my Switch and recording something that is absolutely completely nonsensical. Sometimes I am making stupid decisions. For anyone familiar with Animal Crossing, which is probably a lot of people because I know that during lockdown basically everybody played this game, I went... Okay, wait, I need this thing actually. I didn't want to order anything from the shop. Yeah, I just went into the resident services tent to like sell items on the same day when the shop opened, so like I don't have to like I no longer have to sell my items at resident services. So yeah, that doesn't make much sense. I don't know why I did that. I am a little bit confused, perchance. Yeah, sounds about right. Well, I'm just yapping away. I have nothing really to talk about, I guess, but I don't want to stop talking. Is that weird? Am I weird? Because I like to hear myself talk? No, actually, I just like to talk. It's not. I mean, I do like to hear myself talk, yes, but right now I just keep talking because I want to keep talking. I like to yap. It's one of my favorite hobbies. Can you actually call something like something as essential as talking a hobby? I have no idea. Well, anyway, what could I talk about though? Something interesting, like something more interesting than whatever this is. Well, technically, I mean, did I ever tell you guys? This is gonna be so out of the blue, but did I ever tell you guys about like my shovel just broke? Did I ever tell you guys about my sexuality? Maybe it's time to have that kind of discussion. Maybe it is time for me to have my online coming out. I have no idea. So first of all, let's get the question of gender identity out of the way, I guess. I identify as non-binary, but you don't really have to pay any attention to that. I do not mind if you address me with like the wrong pronouns. I don't really pay much attention to that. Like I'm not gonna be super nitpicky about it and be like, you didn't address me with they them. I feel offended. No. Some of you might have been able to guess because I think I set my pronouns on my YouTube channel to public. I don't know. Um. So yeah, you can still do stuff like you can still say stuff like "girl, what are you talking about?" or something, and I won't be like I'm not a girl. I don't care honestly. Like for me, I could go on a tangent here why I chose to identify as non-binary, but it would be a lot to get into. Basically, just I don't want to like, or I just don't feel like I belong into any of those like those typical gender roles. Like I'm neither very feminine nor am I really masculine. So none of the like none of the things that are typical for either of the two biological genders, the typical traits people assign to those would like make me feel comfortable. Because I have phases in my life or like even days where I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, today I want to like do my makeup and to like look really pretty and really girly, and on other days I'm just like, yeah, no, honestly, today I'm just gotta throw on like some sweatpants and a hoodie and just like lounge somewhere on a couch and not care about anything like about like how I sit or like how my hair looks or whatever. And then people will be like, "Oh my god, like why do you not take care of your appearance?" And I'm like, "Well, because I don't want to, because not every female person has to like look super like pretty and wear makeup and all that stuff. I still love to wear skirts in summer, but there are just days where I don't feel it, and like similarly there are also days where I just feel like where I just don't feel this like lazy, more masculine vibe. Less girly, more cool-ish, I guess. Um so yeah, I think that's just my opinion, but I think gender is something that only really makes sense when it comes to like biology. When it comes to medicine or when it comes to sports competitions, because you can't really compare the like biologically female physique to the biologically male physique. It's just that's why there are different percentages of body fat you could have, like you should have as a biologically female person and as a biologically male person. It's just body composition is just different, and it's also very different what people are gonna be physically able to do depending on their biological gender. So I just think, like, honestly, that's like the only things that wait like the only those are the only real, oh my god, I can't talk, those are the only things that really come to mind when you'd ask me like right now, when you'd ask me what like in what concept I think gender makes sense. Like apart from that, I don't think we should differentiate like too much, because honestly, you can't say, oh, this person's female so they are like that, or oh, this person's male so they are like this, because at the end of the day we're all unique people. So yeah, you can't just be like, well, this person is a female person so they have to obviously be like this and like those things. It's the age old discussion of like what you're allowed to like, to say, to wear depending on your gender, and it's just really not the type of thing that I wanna deal with. So I just chose to say, yeah, not my cup of tea, not my topic. Anyway, moving on. So now you know my gender identity. Congrats. Um, moving on to why do I find so many things I need to purchase today? Uh, Again, I'm still playing Animal Crossing, so I am also like that was a comment on the game. Sorry. Moving on to like what I actually started with. Yeah, my sexuality, I guess, is a topic for discussion today. I honestly, I'm not gonna beat around the bush for too long. I am omnisexual. Now you're gonna ask me, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that. I didn't even know this exists. And honestly, until recently, I had no idea what it is either. Like, if you've heard of, or if you know what it means to be pansexual, then this should be rather, like, easy for you to understand. It's basically similar to pansexuality. It is like, when you're pansexual, it's like you don't really, like, you don't really care about the gender of a person that you're attracted to. So, but the thing is, usually it's like, okay, let me try to explain this. Like, I knew for a long time that the gender of a person doesn't matter because I can be attracted to basically like a person of like any gender. There have been instances where I was attracted to guys, for example, but there have also been instances where I've been attracted to girls, and it's not a recent development. My first crush on a female person was when I was 11, I think, or that was at least the first time I identified as a crush and didn't just think it was like admiration. So, yeah. um, well, uh, so that is like, I'm gonna try to give you a timeline, okay? So basically, back then I thought, okay, I might be lesbian because I like girls. But then I realized, wait, I also like guys, so I might be pansexual. I went with this for the longest time. And I know that being pansexual means you don't, like, the gender of a person doesn't matter in your attraction to them. Like, you can feel the same kind of attraction to a guy that you feel to a girl, for example. However, I noticed that I mean, I always kind of knew, but I didn't really pay attention to it. But I noticed that my attraction to people, the way it feels for me, really does depend on the person's gender. Like, I am attracted to guys in a different way than girls. So, like, I'm attracted to both. I can be attracted to both. And like, not, I'm not attracted to anyone more or less. Sometimes it fluctuates. Sometimes I have times where I'm just more into girls, and then I have times where I'm more into guys. So that, yeah, it can fluctuate, but honestly, I'm basically just like, I'm gonna keep an open mind because I never know who catches my fancy. And then, well, then I realized after doing some digging and reading up a bit on the topic, I got introduced to the concept of like omnisexuality, where I was like, what the hell is that? Like, I never heard it before. And basically, it is like being pansexual, just with the difference that, yeah, that gender does make a difference in attraction. So you can still be attracted to anyone, but their gender matters in terms of how you feel about them. Different kinds of attraction. So that means being like omnisexual. That's it. And that's what I am, basically. So yeah, long explanation for something that could have been so quick, but I like to yap, and I struggle with keeping things like brief, because I really sometimes don't know how to explain stuff in a way that makes sense. So I really end up saying a lot of things without ever really conveying anything. I'm sorry for that. And now, in case you're curious, I'm currently in a phase of my life where I'm more attracted to girls than to guys. That doesn't mean that I would not fall for a guy at the moment. But right now, if you would just ask me, like, who do you find like more physically attractive at the moment, I'd be like, well, I'd be more physically attracted to a female person at the moment. So, yeah. That's gonna be pretty surprising, or maybe not. Actually, maybe not. I mean, you guys have known me for a while now. But I actually have a crush at the moment. It's kind of hard to tell you about this because I know I have zero chances. It's kind of like, it's one of those crushes where you don't have a chance, and you're fine with it. You just like to still admire from afar and be like, well, that's like, this person's still great, and I still like them, even though I know they're way out of my league. And yeah, it does, like, it do be like that. She is way out of my league. Like, oh my god, I'd never have a chance. Like, do you know that feeling when I think this happens to people more often when they don't really think too highly of themselves. Do you know that feeling when you have feelings for someone and you're kind of reluctant to admit it to anyone because you feel like you'd somehow like damage their reputation because other people would see them as like weird or something because someone as weird as yourself has a crush on them. Kind of like, okay, this person has to be kind of weird or kind of lame because they attract those kinds of people. Maybe that's just me being really hard on myself, but it's kind of what I feel. So I'm really just like, I'm kind of feeling bad for her that she has to like, I mean, I'm not planning to tell her, but still I'm feeling bad for her that just she has to live with the, not even knowledge, just with the fact that somewhere out there is a random person on the internet who's really just a weirdo. I mean, I am a weirdo. We all are. Let's be proud of it. Yeah, there's just a random internet weirdo who is crushing on her. Like, it kind of feels like, I mean, she's so gorgeous. I just really feel like I feel like I'm kind of making a fool out of myself just by having those kinds of feelings because, like, I know I have, like, even if I had a chance, I don't think I'd feel comfortable being in a relationship with someone who's just so much more pretty than me. Like, at some point you gotta, like, see the difference, or you gotta feel the difference yourself, right? I mean, I know looks aren't everything, like, by far not everything, but I'm just saying, I always think like, or I always feel like if I was dating someone who was really, really like conventionally pretty, it would just look weird on the outside and people would like give us weird looks or something, or be like to the person I'm dating, like, you do know you could have something better, right? And it does feel like it's just not meant to be because there's just such a huge gap between like this person's like looks, attractiveness, and mine. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I just feel like even if I had a chance at a relationship with them, it would just be really awkward. So yeah, not really sure what I'd do if I actually had a chance. Maybe I'm glad that I don't. But it is obviously kind of sad or something, or like, wait a second, I just had to take a screenshot of something. um, uh, what was I saying? Ah, no, I forgot. Um, oh right, okay, yeah, it is just kind of, it is kind of hard to deal with just being like, you know, being attracted to someone for like a very long time, and just and that's all, like all there is to it. You can't change it, like you can't change anything about it. You can't make yourself be like any less attracted to them. It's just kind of like this feeling, like this constant pining after someone and being like, oh, I'll never be able to have them, but they're so amazing. Like, I hate this. I really do. But at the same time, it's kind of nice. Like, it's the kind of okay, I hit the wrong button. It's the kind of feeling where you're like, yeah, so everything this person does is absolutely amazing. And everything they like, everything they like, I like that as well. Now, it is kind of weird. I am my own person. I learned over the years that I shouldn't just, say that, oh, this person that I like says this is like, this thing is good, I'm gonna immediately adopt that opinion. uh I'm trying not to be like that anymore. But still, it's like, oh, this person has an interest why can't I talk today? This person has an interest in this thing, so I might look into it as well, because now I'm kind of interested in it as well, because it's something that the person I likes. And then just everything that reminds you of them is kind of like making you, like giggle and kick your feet. It's a really weird and complicated feeling. And on one hand, it's really, really nice. It's really exciting. On the other hand, it's just so frustrating, and it's so much to deal with, and it's just like, oh, I would just want to live a quiet life. This has turned from a random yap session into me yapping about my crush that I can't share with you. But yeah, trust me on this, they are absolutely gorgeous. Like, not even an understatement when I say I've rarely seen someone this pretty. By the way, why am I using gender neutral pronouns? I've already told you it's a girl. So yeah, she's absolutely like I really do wish her the best. Like, whatever she wants to do in life, I hope she gets to do it. Because that's really like, that's my go-to like sentiment when I know I don't have a chance with someone, or I know they would be better off or like more happy in life if I didn't try to like be part of their life or interfere. Then I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of just thinking, if I love someone, like if I really have feelings for someone, then I guess I'd rather I don't know. I guess I'd rather have them be happy without my like, without me doing anything for it, than trying to like desperately trying to make myself part of their life and get close to them, but then make them unhappy in the process. So yeah, I really do hope that they get to do whatever they want to in life. Why am I switching to gender neutral pronouns when I don't have to? No, just the standard things. I wish her health and happiness and success and whatever. All those things. I'm a person who easily gives up, I guess. Like, okay, I don't have a chance, so yeah, I'm just resigning myself to my fate. I mean, it's for the better. It's better than like trying to chase after someone I can't have, so yeah. I'm trying not to be delusional. I hope it's working. I'm trying to be more realistic about stuff like that and just accept the fact that that some people might just be like forever unreachable for me. Because if I wouldn't accept that, if I would still try to pursue them, then that would make me like probably turn into some weird stalker-ish person. And that's not who I want to be. Definitely not. That is not how you show you like someone. It's how you show you're obsessed with someone and they should be getting a restraining order against you. My mother and I had a restraining order against my father once. I just remembered that. Because once they broke up. I mean, no, actually they broke up years before that happened. But the moment my mother started seeing someone again, my father got super jealous and worried that there was like an adult man, like another adult man aside from him in his daughter's life. So he literally went and stalked us, and we were living on the ground floor, so it was really easy for him to just, peek in through our windows. One night he was actually just standing in front of my bedroom window, and I was so scared. I think I was like 10 or 11 when that happened. Like, my mother and I have been living on our own for years by then. I think my father, he didn't even leave, we kicked him out. Like, he was basically just freeloading and making us miserable because, yeah. So we kicked him out when I was 7, and then when I was 10 or 11, so like 3 to 4 years later, I mean, everything was alright, my father always came over to like pick me up and go to the playground with me, so he was still present, he just didn't live with us anymore. And they weren't like my parents were on good terms with each other, so it seemed like everything was going all right. And then my mother started dating, and then he kind of like freaked out, and then he started being creepy. And then there was this period in my life where my parents would both like use me as like a means of spying on each other, kind of like. My mother would always ask what my father told me when we met up, and then my father would always ask me what my mother's like, what my mother's doing and what her new boyfriend is doing, and if he's like, my father would be like, "Is this man talking to you?" And I'm like, well, he's saying hello. I'm not really talking to him. I don't like strangers. So yeah, that was weird. And then came this weird phase of my life where they had that like custody battle that both of them won. They shared custody for me, like for basically the entire time until I turned 18. And then my mother decided that it would be time to get rid of me, so she told me she'd be like putting me in a mental hospital, and I was scared because I didn't know what that meant at the time. Like what did that mean for me and for my life? And I told my father about it, and he was like, "Nah, don't worry, I'm not letting her do that." And I was naive as I was as a child, I was trusting him on that. And I told my mother that he said he's not gonna let that happen. And my mother was like, yeah, don't listen to him, don't believe anything he says. He's always saying a lot, but never really like, never really keeping his promises. So, and I was scared again. And then one day there was just like, someone rang our doorbell, and my mother like went to get the door, and there were police officers in front of our door, and they were there to pick me up and bring me to the mental hospital. I still remember that day, and I still remember my mother cooked my favorite food on that day. And for a very long time after, like, after that day, for like years after this incident, I could not eat that food anymore. Like, variations of it, yes, but not the recipe that my mother used. Like, our family recipe that I later learned how to make. I could not eat that because it would remind me of this day. Because guess what? I didn't even get to eat. We sat down to eat lunch, and then the doorbell rang, and I started crying because I was panicking. And my mother told me to eat something, and I told her I can't because I was literally having a panic attack or something. And then the police were like, yeah, well, we have to take her away now. And I was like, what is happening? And then that was really traumatizing. I don't know how I got to this topic, but yeah. Oh, right, because I said if I obsess over someone I like too much, I'm turning into like a stalker or something, similar to what my father did when I was younger. Yeah. So now you know the story. I'm honestly, I can like talk about that very casually because I don't really identify much with that story or like many things from my past. I think it might be like a defense mechanism, just I'm talking about those things as if they were like either not my own story, just like me repeating something I've heard from someone else, or I also tend to just pretend it's normal, like pretend I'm talking about something that is like completely fine, everybody experiences it, which I know is not true, but well, now my inventory is full, like great. Yeah. Anyway, now that was kind of a downer, wasn't it? I think it was. I'm sorry for that. But hey, now you've got another piece of lore about me. Yay. Also, when we're already talking about my parents, I have to talk about this, okay? Because I'm not talking to my mother at the moment. Like, not my decision. She was just being like a real I was about to swear. She was just being like really difficult. Recently, we were like outside together, and we were walking on the street, just talking about stuff, and I wanted to casually mention something that I've done research on, and she basically like auto completed my sentence, and I said yes, but actually I found out it's not the case. Like, this thing that we thought was the case is not actually the case. And then she was like, oh, do you accuse me of lying now? I was like, no, I simply did some research about it, and we were wrong, because it was something my mother initially told me about, and I just, repeated it like I heard it from her. Like, I just took her information as like the truth, and then told a friend of mine about it, and then I realized I should maybe fact check it. So I went to fact check it, and found out it's not true. And then I informed my mother because I wanted to let her know that what she believed was not actually the truth. And she got mad at me and said, oh, so you're saying I'm a liar now. And we kept arguing about this, and she basically just went like, "Oh, and your attitude." And I was like, "What do you mean my attitude? I'm just trying to tell you that we were wrong about this. Like, you were wrong when you told me about this thing." And then she was like, she was not having it. And I just like, she was like, "Oh yeah, but the your tone of voice and like the tone in which you're speaking to me, it's like so disrespectful." And I was like, I'm just frustrated because you don't want to admit, or you don't want to accept that you were wrong about something. And it just kept on going. And then she was like, she basically just was like, "Oh yeah, so you feel really great now because because you're right about something." I was like, "No, I'm not. What the heck is happening?" And well, anyway, ended up like, we ended up just, boarding a train together, and I got off at my stop, and then she got off at hers, I guess, like later down the line. I don't know. Basically, we haven't seen each other or spoken to each other since. And I just realized, because she made me feel so awful that day by being like this and trying, like, she went like full on personal, with like, "Oh, yeah, so you always think you like you know everything." I was like, "I don't, but you don't know everything either." Like, huh? And she was basically just saying that yeah, that I'm talking back too much, and that I've always been like this, and that I'm supposed, as her daughter, I'm supposed to listen to her or whatever. And I'm like, what? Anyway, it was just really weird. And I'm just really fed up with this woman. Like, honestly, I don't even feel bad for saying I don't want to have anything, like, to be connected to her in any way anymore. The thing is, my mother is I'm just gonna say it, my mother is a public person. Like, she is she's not famous or anything, but she's known by a lot of people, and she has a lot of, like, there are a lot of people who don't like her, and she's like she's also gotten lots of threats and stuff. And basically she's getting me into like the same position as her, where people, like, where I'm afraid that people might start, like, harassing me or something, just because I'm related to her. And the fact that she's not even trying to shield me from it, but that she's actively dragging me into this, even though she knows that it could potentially be dangerous to me and to my privacy, it's just kind of like, I just don't get it. I don't get why she's being like that, and I don't want to risk my privacy or my potential, like, safety just for her to, like, boss me around and stuff. She's always like, she's basically using me. She's using me for, like, her own agenda. She wants to do something and she needs someone to do this stuff with her, so she's dragging me along on, like, the false promise that she's gonna, like, buy me something afterwards or something. Or recently we went somewhere and I told her, like, I don't want to be there. Like, if you want to go there, okay, do that. We can meet up again later. I'm just gonna go somewhere and grab a drink and go for a walk or something, because I don't want to be seen with you. And she went like, she was being like, "Oh, do you have to be so difficult?" And in the end, I had to come along with her anyway. Even though I didn't want to, because I literally did not want to be seen with her. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just honestly not worth it. And she's such a pretentious person. Like, she thinks she's super important, and she has, like, and everybody, like, knows her and cares about her in any, like, capacity, but at the same time she honestly isn't all that. And then she also always, like, pretends that she's like this, really she's like this really great person who's like morally like so correct and everything, and this just like what? Like uh I honestly don't even know what to say anymore. It's just kind of, she's a difficult person to deal with. Like, I still remember she went to the Pride Parade with me one year, and she literally, like, her entire reason to go there was she didn't want to be bored, and it was an event she could attend. She's not supportive at all. Like, I tried to explain to her multiple times why I identify as non-binary, and she literally went, no, you're a woman because I gave birth to you, and I decide that I gave birth to a girl, so you are a woman because you're my daughter and I get to decide your gender. Or she was like, there are only two genders, and it's like, okay, so she basically isn't like supportive of the LGBTQ plus community at all, but she's still attending the Pride Parade, not because she wants to like support the community, but because she wants to take pictures and use it for social media fame, so people can say, oh, it's so great that you're so supportive, even though she isn't. She's none of that. She's just taking a few pictures or asking me to take pictures of her. Like, yeah, and can you take a picture of me for social media? And I'm like, okay, if I have to. And that, like, in the end of the day, it's a promotional event for her. She just wants to do some self promo. And I'm so sick of it because it's just so fake. Like, if you want to pretend you're so great, like, literally, like, a few years ago, at the beginning of like, the Russia-Ukraine war, she went to, like, place down, like, candles and flowers and stuff at the embassy, like the Ukrainian one. And every single time she literally just gave me her phone and she said, film me. She just wanted me to film her, or like to take photos of her putting down like flowers at the embassy, because she wanted to look good being supportive of like another nation, because everyone, like, it was like topic everywhere, everybody talked about it, so she thought she could, jump on the, not even, it's not a hype, what do you call it, like jump on the well, basically the topic, the social media topic, and use it to her advantage, so more people would look at her and see, oh my god, she's such a great person, look at how much like she's doing for like for other people. She literally also went and donated, we had those donation stations across the city for when all the refugees came to us, so we could donate stuff that they'd need. And she went there to donate stuff, but it was literally like she used to complain to me how much money she's spending on all the stuff she has to buy for those donations thingies, and that she can't afford it and stuff, and that she's like, oh, it's so annoying that she has to do this. And it's like, okay, then why are you doing it? Yeah, because on Instagram, and I have so many followers who always comment that it's so great that I support Ukraine, and I'm like, so you're doing this only for your Instagram followers, so that they praise you and tell you what a good person you are. That's so wrong. I mean, good that the people still got like the donations, good that they still got the stuff they needed out of that, but it's still, she's doing it, yeah, she's doing something good, but she's doing it for the wrong reason. I don't know, I just can't understand that. Like, Why are people like this? I don't think, I'm just gonna put this out there, nothing more. I don't think she realizes with all her like, oh, and what if this person is like, wants to like do me harm or wants to like harm my reputation and stuff, with all like the caution she's putting into her life, with all the, you know, all this like paranoia about whom she can trust and stuff. I don't think she realizes that like her biggest threat is sitting right in like in her bloodline. Like I know so much about this woman, and if I wanted to, I could really like damage her reputation probably. But the thing is, I don't want to make it into like such a big deal because I don't want everyone to know me as this woman's daughter. I just honestly, I was thinking about just trying to like change my name somehow, especially if I want to pursue figure skating. Since you know your name is basically plastered everywhere across like the screen if you participate in a competition and it gets broadcast anywhere. And I really don't want to just to just be I really don't want for it to just be out there and for people to be able to easily connect the dots, because at the end of the day I can say so many times that I don't support this woman at all. We still share like the same family name, so it's kind of hard to convince people that I don't want to have anything to do with her. So at a certain point I really just thought about how can I legally change my name, and then like in the easiest way I was like, hey, maybe I find someone to marry or something just so I can change my name. It was really like, I was desperate. Okay, that's a silly suggestion, I know. And I'm not gonna go through with that, but it's still something I've thought about where I was like, how do I make this happen? I don't want to have the same last name as her anymore. I don't want people to connect us. So, yeah. Like, I don't think she's realizing, or maybe she is realizing and just not caring that, like, she has a child who wants to do something, like a sport that's gonna put her, like, in the spotlight, basically. I mean, it does. And she could literally, like, by, um, by dragging me into this negative spotlight herself, she is literally like damaging my future like possibilities, opportunities, stuff like that a little bit. I know I'm not making much sense today. I'm sorry. I'm really trying. But I hope you know what I mean. Like if everybody just like if everybody can like connect me to her and be like, oh wait, that's the girl, like that's a the daughter of this one woman that's like so weird and problematic, then that will affect my sports career as well. Imagine, okay, yeah, it's the worst case scenario, I guess, but imagine I would find, like, imagine I would, I want to switch to ice dance. And I know it's difficult at my age, but imagine I would find a partner that I just really, I just really click with. Like, we really work well together. And it's like, I'm really happy because I think I finally found someone I can skate with. And then my partner's just like, connecting the dots, like, wait, aren't you the daughter of this one woman? And I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, oh my god, no, I don't want to skate with you. I don't want anything to do with this family. Like, I know that sounds really outlandish, but I'm not saying it's impossible. And honestly, I could understand him because I don't want anything to do with this family either. Yeah. Like, the stuff my mother does is just like, you can't do that kind of stuff when you have no family. Especially not children. It's kind of different for, like, if kids do something, because then most people just, I mean, okay, yeah, parents get the blame very often as well, but I think if you have a kid who's problematic on, like, social media or something, then people won't be so quick to, like, dox the parents and be like, oh, it's all your fault and you gotta be the same as your kid. It's more like the other way around. If you have crazy parents, then people will think you're crazy too. So yeah, she could have done that if she didn't have kids. Because you always gotta keep in mind whom you're affecting with your life choices. Anyway, this is turning into, oh god, this is turning into such a long video. I'm so sorry. I really gotta go to sleep soon as well, and I talked so much that my throat kinda hurts. Anyway, I should stop yapping and go to sleep and let you all sleep as well. Nobody will listen to this audio, nobody will listen to this video till the end. I'm pretty sure of it. If you did though, shout out, you're a real one. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here and for listening to me yap and keeping me company when I'm not feeling well. It's really, it means a lot. Alright, not dragging this out any longer. See you guys very soon, and hopefully with something that isn't quite as long as this. Bye bye!